Now what I'm going to show you is going to revolutionize the game. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Bones of Berry YouTube, where we learn art tips and expand our minds as artists. Today we're working with this image of a beautiful Egyptian sorceress type of lady. Look at that face. Okay, now take notice of those braids, because we're going to get into that later on in this video. Okay, so let's start the video off. If you're new, join the crew, hit the subscribe, and if you also want to see the latest, hit that notifications as well. Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to get into the video portion, and we're going to go show a time lapse. Then we're going to shoot over to the tutorial where we can teach you the tips that you all came for. Okay, let's go ahead and get to it. Boom, boom. Okay, we're going to start off the video. Started upside down, if you could tell. Man, I must have been I was hanging from a monkey bars at the time. That's the only reason it's upside down, you know. Amazing feat. So I'm getting the sketch in, getting the line art, found some pose that I liked right off the bat. Okay, found the hands that I wanted. Decided to give her that little curved whatever it's called, Egyptian thing. You guys see that all the time. Okay, so I was doing the line arts. The line arts were coming out nice and crispy-fied. Did a tiara crown thing here. Okay. Eyelashes. Gotta have the eyelashes. Then the line art. Did those little evil makeup things from underneath. I found it on TikTok. Don't tell anybody. Okay. Pushing around some stuff. Now take notice of the braids, because this is what we're gonna go into on this video. We're gonna go ahead and do the line art for the braids, and I'm gonna get into the first portion of that tutorial. There we go. So we're gonna stop it right there. Bang. Okay, take notice of those braids. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, let's start it off with this tutorial head that I made previously. It's already made for you guys. You don't even have to wait. That's how generous I am. So let's go ahead and knock the opacity down. Then we're just gonna give you an example of a couple braids. Let's go to that inking brush. Okay, so for the braids, we're going to go ahead and do the same style kind of box braids. We're just going to do a couple of them. We don't have time to go over all of them like I would wish, but, you know, we work with what we got. Okay, so we're going to do some box. Ooh, that line art is a little too skinny for this process. Okay. So she's going to have one braid down. She's going to have those, I don't know if it was Poetic Justice, one of those, but they're like short. But that'll work perfect for this video. Okay, so we're just gonna do a couple of these. Matter of fact, let's do one going behind the ear. I think that'll make this interesting. Trying not to zoom in and flip the thing around like I did last time, because I feel like it gave at least one of you guys a headache. We will use the zoom function from time to time, but we're going to go ahead and limit that in this growth process of making videos. Thanks for all the return viewers. I really appreciate it. And all the new guys too, all the new people. Definitely appreciate it. Growth is what we're here for. And let's do one more braid right here. You know what, maybe we should do all of them and then just go ahead and we'll do all of them and then just go in on details on a few of them. And we'll fast forward through all the rest of it. So this is one thing, as you notice here, I don't know if you noticed, but I made a slight mistake. You want to make sure you make all the braids like they're going to overlap each other. So whatever ones are going to be hanging on the top are going to show up first, so that you don't have to go and erase anything. Let's make these a little bit higher off the head. They're looking a little bit flat and noodly. You know, we don't want her with pad thai on her head. This is not the lunch menu. Okay. You know, I feel like this is important because when I was drawing these, when I was learning how to do this, I didn't have anybody to explain. YouTube was like limited in that sense, so I had to kind of figure it out as I went, and I think somebody could benefit from it. So I'm glad I could share this with you guys. Trying to figure it out as we go. Sometimes you might do one that overlaps the wrong direction, but it's not the end of the world. Just erase it and start again. Don't be too married. If you draw the perfect braid, don't be married to that braid. Like, oh, we have to keep it. We have to salvage it. Scrap it and start over. I bet you'll do it faster the second time. And that's a promise I'm making to you guys. Liquify tool is going to be integral in this process because there's a process in here that I'm going to show you that involves using that tool. Okay, so I think that's good for now. We're gonna go ahead and boom, let's add some color. So first, you don't never want to go with too black. Like, let's not go with super black because it won't look right. So we're just gonna go ahead and put that color in there. You just go with a slightly more gray, and you know, this is on kind of like the bluish green side. Let's just go ahead and color all this in there. It's probably a little bit too blue. Okay, but can you ever have enough blue? I don't know. Oh yeah, this was supposed to be empty right there. Just give it a little negative space, break up the shapes, make it a little more interesting. Trying to get this in here accurate enough without having to zoom in. I think I'm doing a decent job. I don't know, you guys tell me. Now what I'm going to show you is going to revolutionize the game. I don't know if you ever seen these brushes before, but you just come to this, the edge control brush. If you have one hard edge and one soft edge, whew, saves you time. I'm going to tell you that right now. You don't have to come in, you don't have to do a hard line, come in, smudge it. It just, boom, straight off the bat. It's exactly how you want it. No complaints. So let's pick a light. So for this, okay, so you just come in here and you go ahead and figure out which side is the soft side, which side is the hard side. And then you just do that pattern. You do that pattern. The hard side goes on the top, soft side on the bottom. There will be links to free brushes. Who doesn't like free? Everybody likes free. Go ahead and download it and whatever link I put. So as you can see, it's already starting to form. So you just take it all the way down. It's kind of, sometimes you can mess up, and you just do that pattern, that braid pattern that you all know and love. And look at that. We have our first braid. Aren't you guys so proud? You just did your first braid. I'm proud of you. I'm going to come in here and do the next one. You see, here's the thing about this braid, about doing this braid with this style. Yes, there are brushes that you can use braids, but for our purposes, it comes out a little bit flat sometimes, and we want to have a little bit more room to explore the volume of the braid. It might be turned, you might, whatever it be, but you can have more flexibility. Not a knock on these brushes, they're wonderful. You can use them, but sometimes maybe the line art is too thick. Maybe it just the style of it is not consistent with the rest of the painting. Okay, so let's get back to it. We're just gonna do a couple more braids. Let's do three is the magic number. We're just gonna do 3 braids in here. As you can see, like the braid is starting to turn, so we're just turning with it with that brush, turning with it as it wraps around the ear. We're gonna come back in, do the other side. Now we can curve here because we're not trapped down in a brush. We're just going, we're going as we see fit. And it doesn't take that much time to do these. So if you're really concerned about conserving time, don't be, because it really, that's really not a factor in here. As you can see, they took all of 5 minutes to do all those braids. Now from here, we're gonna go in, and you might say, oh, the braids are looking kind of flat. What's going on here? Well, you haven't finished watching the video clearly. Now, now we can zoom out and take a look at our work, admire your work. Congratulations, you just started off some beautiful braids, you know? Congratulations. Okay, this next process is where you break this up. As you can see, it might look a little bit flat to you. You might have that complaint, but not for long. We come in here, we highlight the area that we're going to be working on. Boom. It doesn't have to be the cleanest thing in the world. We hit that little wand at the top left. We go down to liquefy. Now we pick push. Push is to the left, as you can see highlighted. We pick a small brush. Now we just come in here and that's a little on the big side. Let's go back to liquefy. Candy Crush ads. Excuse me. Just interrupt my video, Candy Crush. And boom, as you can see, it's forming. The braid, you just push in those sides to create that form. And you just push, if sometimes they fight, as you can see, you just beat them into submission. Okay, there you go. Wherever that highlight is present, you want to give it a little bit more volume sticking up. Dreads, which you could have, but for this we're working on braids. Maybe next week we'll do dreads. Who knows what's on the schedule. I'm open. If you push the little piece with the shadow, and if you pull, you just push out where that highlight is present. Sorry, I had to zoom in a little bit. I'm making good on my promise. I haven't really flipped the screen yet, and maybe I did. Maybe you guys haven't noticed that, and you're screaming at your computer. I apologize again. Okay, and you can see those beautiful braids have been created. Now we're just going to go back in here and we're going to correct some of those areas that got distorted with the line art. So let's go in there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you guys deserve a cookie for that. You just created yourself some beautiful braids. As you can see. Now we're just going to go ahead and do a time lapse of the rest of these braids being done so that you can see the full finished product. And there you have it, folks, those braids. So we're back to the audio section of this again. We're going to go ahead and just choose a dark color. We're just going to use one color. Clipping mask. We're going to go ahead and turn the opacity down a little bit. And just have a one, all you need is one layer for this technique. And one layer for a shadow. And that's all you need. And then you'll be ready to go. And then you just come in here, whatever braids are below, not in the foreground, you'll just go ahead and push those to the back a little bit. And by pushing them to the back, I don't mean physically shoving them to the back. I just mean come in here with this brush, with a hard brush, and you just paint it, and wherever you feel like the braids have receded into the background. And as you can see, that creates a little bit more of a dynamic look as it is. And there you have it, everyone. That is how you make braids. Thanks for coming along with this process as I showed you my technique on how I create those braids, that braid pattern. And if you like the video, subscribe, save to likes, and keep being great. And if you like at this point, you can stick around for the time lapse and enjoy that process. Thanks again, and see you next time.